50 is actually meant for these welded storage tanks, which are at very low pressure, the storages.
Hmm.
The main
Hmm.
pressure is due to the static head. Okay.
Hmm.
So what we are going to talk about in this course is related to material. Like in ASME, there's a specific requirement of material. So in this code
Hmm.
also, there are certain limitations which we need to follow. And then design of
Hmm.
different parts. Okay. Hope you can
Hmm.
see my screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then there is a design. So we have to
Hmm.
design the different parts of this storage tanks. We are going to see what are these different parts. Okay, and then
Hmm.
we will refer like what are the fabrications details which are given, similar to like
Hmm.
ASME, and then
Hmm.
directions, inspection requirement, like if we have to do
Hmm.
radiography, then how we need to
Hmm.
perform, at what location we should perform. That is all
Hmm.
covered in this. And also this APS 650, in every code which we start, we need to know the
Hmm.
limitation of that code, right? So
Hmm.
every code has some specific scope, you know.
Hmm.
So the similar type of equipment only we can design as per that code. So as per
Hmm.
APS 650, the tanks has to be a cylindrical. We cannot design
Hmm.
any rectangular or
Rectangular.
any other shape.
Hmm.
It has to be
Hmm.
uh, cylindrical. Okay,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
has to be above ground. Okay, it cannot
Hmm.
be below ground. Okay, or a vertical. Sorry, or a horizontal. Horizontal tanks we cannot
Hmm.
design, like the saddle mounted. Even though the pressure is
Yeah.
below 1 bar, we cannot design as
Hmm.
per API. It has to be a fully grounded support. The bottom plate
Hmm.
of the tank shall be fully
Hmm.
uniformly supported. Then only we can use this API
Hmm.
6 code. We will refer the scope and we'll see how the code defines it. Okay. And the maximum pressure, which is above static head. This does not include your static head. So
Hmm.
apart from that static head, the maximum pressure which you can have is 18 kPa. Okay, so normally
18 gigabits.
as we know
Hmm.
that 1 bar is 100 kPa. So above
Hmm.
100 kPa, we go for ASME section 8. But for this
Hmm.
API, it's only 18 kPa. We cannot go more than that. Okay.
Acha.
Hmm. So only
Is it
18
internal pressure or what?
internal pressure.
It
This is
okay.
internal pressure.
Hmm. Hmm.
So only this much
Okay.
internal
Hmm.
pressure we can design. So this is very much low. So that is why it is called as
Hmm.
atmospheric, because it is as good as atmospheric.
Atmospheric. Yeah.
Okay. And then the temperature maximum it can have is 93.
Hmm.
Only
Hmm.
93 degrees Celsius. See, because these
Hmm.
tanks are used for storage, these are not
Storage.
any process tanks.
Operational.
Yeah, these are
Correct.
only for storage. So that is the reason it may be operational, because that fluid may be
Hmm.
transferred to the main process
Hmm.
system. But the purpose of these tanks are to store the liquid, kind of
Hmm.
feed all the feed for the plant that will be stored,
Hmm.
or maybe the output. Okay, so like if we are
Okay.
having crude, we are taking out crude and distillation is done. So they are separate
Hmm.
product like petrol, kerosene, diesel. So all
Hmm.
these fluids can be stored in this storage tanks. Okay,
Hmm.
so the purpose of these tanks are just to store that. Okay, so we'll refer all the details like scope part, and then different what are the different types of storage tanks, because there can be some variation. It can be a fixed roof cone.
Hmm.
The top part can be either fixed roof, or it also can be a dome roof. Okay,
Hmm.
and then there are some floating roof tanks. So I will tell you when we refer the we'll start the presentation. This is just a scope. So I will tell you what is the floating roof tank and fixed roof tank. Okay, so this we'll cover in section 1, and then in section 2 we'll cover the different requirements related to your minimum and maximum design pressure, limitation of
Hmm.
temperature, the tank and apparatus. Apparatus means your all the nozzles and other accessories. Okay.
Hmm.
Then what is the
Can I know the meaning of this? Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Can
no
I know the
problem.
meaning? API 650. 650 means what? Designate?
650 is just a designation, like ASME section 8. So 8 does not mean actually anything, just different sections.
Mm, okay.
So API also is
Mm-hmm.
having lots of sections.
Yeah, that's why I asked 250,
Huh.
350 it is having.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Mm-hmm.
API 650 is
Mm.
what? So it doesn't mean that 650 has anything related to the tag. This is just a serial number kind of thing. So API
Okay.
650 covers for storage tags. There is also a
Mm-hmm.
API 620. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as we know now that API 650, the maximum pressure limitation is 18 kPa. Okay. If I
Mm-hmm.
have to store a fluid which is having more than 18 kPa but less than 100,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
then what we'll do? So then we have a different code which is called API 620.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
now
what you told, more than 18 kPa
18
and
kPa and less than 100 kPa.
Acha.
So
Mm-hmm.
above 100 we have ASME, right? ASME section 8.
Yeah.
Then
Mm-hmm.
below 100 and up to 18 kPa we have API
Mm-hmm.
620. And
Mm-hmm.
below
Okay.
18 kPa to the atmospheric level we have API 650. Okay, so this is the
Mm-hmm.
pressure wise scope of these codes.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. So in section 3 we'll cover different parts and their definitions, like roof structure, what we call as a roof structure, then bottom plate, annular plate, what is called wind
Mm-hmm.
girder, okay, design metal temperature. So different terminology which we are going to use in the design, that we are going to
Mm.
study in detail so that there is no confusion. Then we'll discuss about the material requirement as per the code. Okay. Then we'll go to the design part where we'll see the design of, well, first of all, we'll see the different types of design loads, what like light
Mm.
load, snow load, wind load, earthquake
Mm-hmm.
load. So see, the normal pressure vessel, your seismic and winds are not that effective, right? Because the components are very small. But for storage
Mm.
tanks, these are very
Mm.
big in size. The sizes are as
Yeah.
big as, are like a stadium, 80 meter, 100
Mm.
meters
Mm.
diameter.
Correct.
These are very big.
Mm-hmm.
So that impact of wind and seismic are very high.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's design in storage tanks are, these two things are very critical. So we'll see how to design as per these. Then bottom plate, under plate design, shell thickness calculation, then wind girder. So for avoiding that failure of storage tanks due to the wind load, we need to provide wind girders. These are nothing but
Mm-hmm.
similar to the stiffeners which we provide, right, for
Yeah,
external
yeah.
pressure.
We know.
So these are
Yeah.
similar.
In startup heater, we provide track. You must be knowing,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Correct. Correct.
helical tracks.
Yes, yes, helical stripes. Correct.
Mm. Presently, we are working on that. So in that it actually it is around from ground level. It is around 35-meter height. It is going to install. You can say
Okay.
chimney pipe.
Okay.
So that much height, it may get oscillate due to wind.
Correct, correct. Because the wind pressure also goes on increasing at higher
So
level.
so that purpose that products track
Hmm.
helical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all these design things we'll study, and then there are some annexures given, for like
Mm-hmm.
if the tank is very small, then there is some rules
Mm-hmm.
for that. Seismic,
Mm-hmm.
there is an annexure. So for these are all mandatory. So normative means it is a mandatory appendix like ASME.
Mm-hmm.
So for seismic design, how to perform that seismic design, there's an annexure. So we're going to,
Mm-hmm.
so what we'll be doing in the class, that we'll be making an Excel sheet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be doing all the calculation in the Excel sheet. Okay, so
Okay.
all the guys who are participating, will be, parallelly will be doing all the Excel sheets, and I will giving you some homework also, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next class will discuss whatever the problem you faced. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that all along you will have an idea of studying the code by yourself also, right? Because in the training purpose is not you to just train what I say and you just listen and it's all over,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to
Mm.
try to understand the code by yourself, then only you will become independent.
Yeah,
It should not happen
correct.
that every time you need hand holding. So the first time only
Mm-hmm.
you need hand holding, in the sense that what I have to study, if there is some confusion, there should be somebody who can clarify that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
like that it will be. I'll be telling you to study something in before, and then we'll discuss what you could understand and what is the
Mm-hmm.
clarification if it is required. So
Mm-hmm.
it will be kind of discussion, like we are having now. It won't be like a regular class. I'm telling something and you are just listening. In that
Mm-hmm.
mode, it becomes very difficult to teach code, right? Like what I'm saying, whether
Yeah.
you are able to understand or not, it does not
Mm-hmm.
becomes clear. So we
Mm-hmm.
always used to have these sessions like a discussion. So you can consider
Mm-hmm.
me as your senior, and we are discussing something. I'm just helping you to design as per API. Okay, that is what
Mm-hmm.
it will be.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you prepare the data sheet for normal ASME Section 8 Division 1 pressure vessels and heat exchanger. There is a tank data sheet, okay, which
Mm-hmm.
looks little different than what we used to see for pressure vessels. So we'll see how to
Mm-hmm.
prepare that accurately. That this is the
Mm-hmm.
output when we design. This is our output. So it should be
Mm-hmm.
very accurate, because that
Mm-hmm.
will form the basis for further design, the detailing part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are in uh, like consultancy, then you will design and give it to the vendor. Okay, that vendor will just elaborate it and make the fabrication drawing by taking all the details.
Mm-hmm.
If the vendor is designing, then he will make this data sheet, submit to you for approval. So for that approving
Mm-hmm.
that also, you should know what are the things which should be there in the data sheet, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so the data sheet will are going to see in detail what it should cover, and then drawings. If you are reviewing or you are making the drawing itself by help of your draftsman, then what are the things which should be there in the drawing? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so and how the typical tank drawing should look like. So all that will
Mm-hmm.
discuss that. Okay, so that will complete our scope part. Okay, then I'll just little bit describe you about the basics. Okay, so that at least you understand something about API. So you must be knowing this, as we discussed, these are all
Mm-hmm.
cylindrical and
Mm-hmm.
above ground tanks, and these are very big in
Mm-hmm.
size. They are not small.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
any reason you can think of the why these tanks are always big in size and why small ones are not preferred? Or we can, like, let us see, I have to store 1,000 metric cube of
Yeah,
liquid, right?
that's
So
yeah, yeah.
I can have a single tank to store that, or I can have a multiple smaller tanks to store that liquid
Mm-hmm.
stored. What do you think? The smaller ones,
Single only,
single one, right?
larger one only. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But why you will
Mm.
prefer single one?
Because uh, first of all, space, then
Okay. Yes. Yes.
manufacturing cost.
So manufacturing might be the if there are small tanks, maybe that will be easier to manufacture.
That will be easy, but what about that storaging and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Maintenance is also would be one headache.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, we'll see. We'll answer that. So in this
Okay.
slide itself, you can answer that. See this.
Okay.
Let us see. I have a tank with
Hmm.
storage
Hmm.
capacity of 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs
Okay.
gallon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cost of roughly that 10 lakh gallon tank, the
Mm-hmm.
fabrication cost, including your
Okay.
material design, everything, roughly it is
Mm-hmm.
1.5 crore. Okay.
Okay.
And if I have a 10,000 gallon tank, that will cost me approximately 15 lakhs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you relate that, see if
Mm-hmm.
how much capacity I have multiplied here 100 times, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
10 lakhs gallon and 10,000. But the cost you can
Mm-hmm.
see is only multiplied by 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
So you can see that
Mm-hmm.
because that capacity is defined as pi d square into h, right? Diameter is the square.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
I increase the diameter, my capacity, becomes square of that.
Square.
That you
Yeah.
can see, the 100 times, and that cost is only 10 times. So
Mm-hmm.
square of 10, I can, with the cost, of making 10 tanks, I can make
Mm-hmm.
the capacity for 100 tanks. So that is definitely,
Mm-hmm.
cost wise, there is a huge difference.
Yeah.
If we go
Mm-hmm.
for that, is the reason clients will always like to have a bigger tank. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just to tell you why codes are required. So because you are familiar with ASME, you know that there needs to be a certain guideline, which everybody follows.
Yeah.
Then only we can find
Mm-hmm.
out if some problem happened, some failure happened in the fabrication. Then
Mm-hmm.
we can track down. If at each
Mm-hmm.
stage, like there are 3 4 vendors and everybody is following different material, different design code, finding problem of the cause will become almost impossible, right? But if
Mm-hmm.
everybody is following the same standard for material procurement, for inspection of that material, and then fabrication, so inspection after fabrication, if all things are same, and then one of the tank fails, then we are most probably will like to identify the cause of that failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we eliminate that, that will also come as a rule for that. So we can keep on building like that. Okay, so that is the use of code, because we can standardize the things so that nobody
Mm-hmm.
makes a mistake. We learn from the earlier mistakes and try to avoid that. Okay, so that is the reason we need code. So for design of storage tanks, there are different codes. The most popular is definitely API 650. It's American petroleum industry. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that is API 650, and then there are British standard, German standard, Indian standard. But if you see the code, all the codes are based on the similar philosophy. Okay, they are very
Okay.
similar in nature. So if we study anyone, we will be
Mm-hmm.
able to design as per others also. Okay.
Okay.
Now about the type of storage tanks. So the storage tank can be open top tank. You can see like this. There is no roof for this,
Mm-hmm.
just a
Mm-hmm.
cylindrical. This
Mm-hmm.
can be used to store a fluid, which is even it gets dirtier, we don't have any problems, like plant
Mm-hmm.
water, or maybe the fire water.
Correct.
So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of fluids can be stored in the open tanks. Okay,
Yeah.
definitely the
Mm.
roof is not there, so we can save the cost of it. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then it can be a fixed roof tank. So a conical roof will be provided on the top of it. Okay,
Mm.
so it's called fixed roof. And then there is a floating roof. So you can see here
Mm-hmm.
this part of the tank, floats above the fluid.
Okay.
Okay, so if the fluid level will go up, this will also go up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of,
Acha.
you know, it follows actually your Archimedes principle.
Mm-hmm.
So it has some pontoons which have vacant spaces, that air will be there, so that
Mm-hmm.
it will always remain on the top of the fluid. So now why this is
But
provided?
this, uh, uh,
Yeah, that is what you wanted to ask, why this is required.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was.
Correct, correct. So what happens, the fluids like petrol and diesel, which are very
Mm-hmm.
highly, evaporation rate is very high.
Volatile.
Yeah, volatile
Mm-hmm.
in nature. What
Mm-hmm.
happens if we keep a gap for the air? The evaporation
Mm-hmm.
rates is very high, right?
Okay.
And these are all atmospheric tanks, so we cannot allow the vapor to build up. We need to release it. So if we are releasing the
Mm-hmm.
vapor, that means actually that petrol is getting evaporated, and petrol is a costly
Yes.
item, right? We cannot just let it
Hmm.
evaporate. So if we
Mm-hmm.
provide a roof which is very closely on the, the surface of that fluid, then
Mm-hmm.
oxidation will not happen, it will not evaporate.
Mm-hmm.
So to, avoid actually your evaporation, we don't provide any gap for oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So there is also other mean, like if we have a tank like fixed roof, we can also
Mm-hmm.
maintain a barrier of nitrogen. We can provide a
Mm-hmm.
nozzle, and then there will be nitrogen will be stored. Definitely that pressure will be below 18 kPa because we cannot go more than that. So small
So
pressure will be.
you are saying in that manner, okay, after filling the petrol, on top of that nitrogen gas is going to be
Means
filled.
that, see, the petrol will
Mm-hmm.
not be at the full level, no. The height is
Mm-hmm.
always, at you can say at 80% of the height of the tank. So whatever gap is
Mm-hmm.
there, in that you will fill the
Mm-hmm.
nitrogen,
Acha.
so that there
Mm-hmm.
is no gas. So, but then the nitrogen consumption will be very high. That is also very costly. So we have to maintain that nitrogen storage every time and keep on filling, because definitely there is a leakage. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to always, fill that tank with nitrogen. So if you don't want to do that, we can go for floating roof tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Here we can
Mm-hmm.
have them. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
there is a another type which is called, see, this is called external floating, because the floating roof is accessible from the external, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is also an internal floating roof, so it will have both cone and this roof. Floating roof also will be there. Apart from that,
Mm-hmm.
a cone also will be there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely very costlier. So these are used for aviation fuels, like, which are very costly. So
Mm-hmm.
we provide this floating roof also, and then in between this space we fill with nitrogen,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that there are completely no chances of getting it
Mm-hmm.
evaporate. But definitely
Mm-hmm.
cost is involved. So finally client has to decide that which type of tank he
Mm-hmm.
wants. Okay, based
Tank
on
they
that
want.
he design. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If we compare the cost factors, the open roof tank, if we say the cost is one, then fixed roof
Mm-hmm.
will have at least 15% higher cost, and internal floating roofs will have at least 25% higher cost than open roof tank.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely by providing this, we can avoid lots of loss of your liquid which you are
Mm-hmm.
storing, because that is also
Liquid.
costly, right? So there is always a
Mm-hmm.
calculation that in a year how much liquid will be evaporated, so what will be the cost of that liquid, and then we compare with
Mm-hmm.
the tank cost. So if we go for
Mm-hmm.
open roof tank, how much will be cost, and the internal floating roof tank, how much additional cost is there, right? Because one is the
Mm-hmm.
recurring cost, that evaporation loss will be recurring over the year, and this is the cost
Mm-hmm.
which will be in the start itself. Okay, so
Okay.
now that is, also uh, year wise a factor will be implied, and so that we have to take care of inflation also. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
compare. So always a calculation is done to decide whether which will be preferable for us. The client is usually do,
Mm-hmm.
so they will do this calculation and then decide that, okay, I need to go for internal or fixed tank.
I guess this time, due to this COVID, many orders must have got for
Yeah, yeah,
storage purpose.
correct, correct. Because everybody now needs in uninterrupted supply,
Yeah. That's also, but and Indian government has also stored much amount of crude oil now.
Yeah, yeah. Now they are storing lots of more.
The
Yes.
Corona It was really,
Yes, yes, very bad.
price was really down. Mm.
Yes.
Great. So this all this manufacturing were here and didn't seen in this
No,
Hajira
no, see,
wherever
all
this.
these big, see, if we have only smaller
Mm.
tanks like 4-5 meter diameter, then only it will
Mm.
fabricated in the shop. See,
Mm.
if they are bigger than that, they are always site fabricated.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So all these tanks are site
Correct.
fabricated, it cannot be transported.
Yeah. Correct.
So
Mm-hmm.
this top, now you can see that there are different parts of it. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the earlier what we saw was conical roof. This is a dome roof.
Dome.
Dome roof. So normally these dome roofs
Mm-hmm.
are made from aluminium because then the
Mm-hmm.
total thickness, because the weight is very, see, the designing of roof will depend, it has to also take care of its own weight, right? So
Mm.
that is the reason if we provide steel, the
Mm.
total tonnage will go up because of the
Yes.
total weight of that roof itself is very
Mm.
high. So that is the reason
Mm-hmm.
many times we go for aluminium, because the self weight is low. So the
Mm.
strength requirement also will become low.
Mm.
Then you can see these are the sides. You can see these are the girders which are provided for wind. The
Mm.
bottom one is called the bottom plate, and the side
Mm-hmm.
which you can see, we have different thicknesses for the shell. You can see that
Mm-hmm.
top one 8, 8, 8, and then below 10, 12, 14, 16. You know, it's similar
Hydrostatic
to,
duty.
yeah, it's similar to the dam, right? Dam, you must have seen
Mm.
that at the bottom, the thickness is very high. So that is
Mm-hmm.
because of rho GH. The pressure of the static
Mm-hmm.
head will be higher at the bottom.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when we design these tanks at every level, we need to calculate the thickness. It is not like ASME. Okay, when we
Mm-hmm.
design the shell in ASME also,
Mm-hmm.
actually for very tall columns, we used to do this, right? At different levels, if we
Mm-hmm.
can have a lower thickness, that is
Mm-hmm.
possible. But that is required only when your column is very tall. In
Mm.
this, because
Correct.
it's rho GH, we calculate for each shell course, we calculate the thickness, and then we provide the final thickness based on that.
Mm.
So now we can just open code and see how it looks like. So this is the welded tank for oil storage. So if you see
Mm.
the different sections of it, so start from your typical scope and then general applications, limitation of this code, that is also very important, right? Then terms and definitions. So we'll refer what are the different terminology which will be used in the code. Okay. And then we'll go to the material part. So there are different types of material, plates, sheets, structural shapes, which will be required for your girder, and piping and forgings for nozzles and flanges. Okay. So what are the requirements given with the types of different materials? We will see that, and then we'll go to the design part. We'll learn how to design for bottom plates, under plate, shell design, the openings, what are the requirements given by API. So we'll see all that. And wind load. Wind load is very critical because it can overturn your tank. Okay. So the
Mm.
we'll be calculating that overturning moment, and then we'll see whether my tank requires some anchorage, right? Because if overturning is there, I need to have some anchorage. Okay, so that
Mm.
next tank anchorage, whether it is required or not, it will depend upon the wind load. Then we'll go for fabrication, erection. So different requirement related to fabrications and inspection. Okay. And then there are different annexures. So some annexures you will see are normative. Normative means it's a mandatory. Like in SME, there is a mandatory and non-mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Here there is a normative and informative. So informative means that is only for information. You may follow it, you may not follow it.
You may not.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
this is just information. But some clauses you can see are some annexures which are for normative. So these are mandatory amendments.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to see these annexures also, because there is very much required for the design. Okay. You can see here the scope part. See these lines you can see here. These are for the revision. In this revision, if some lines are revised, that will be symbolized like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see
Okay.
the dot mark like this is actually the client involvement. Like something if depends upon the purchaser who is asking you to design, some decision by him is required. Okay, like type of tank. So finally, the client has to give us the what is the type of tank, what is the content of it. Okay, so any clause starting with this dot, that means some information from the purchaser is required. Okay. So if you see this general scope part, this tank covers the vertical tanks. It should be cylindrical, no other shape we can design. It has to be above ground. Okay, then it has to be closed. It can be closed and open tank that we saw. It can be closed also, it can be open also. It has to be welded. We cannot design a bolted storage tank. It has to be welded. Okay, then there is a internal pressure. Okay, the maximum internal pressure we saw is 18 kPa, and the design temperature is 93 degrees Celsius. Okay, but if you have to design above that, there is a annexure also. For higher temperature, there is an annexure available. So if we use that, we can go up to 250 degrees Celsius also. So we'll see that also, what this annexure talks about. Okay. Then we'll go to the different design section. So this will cover when we start that session. I think that course detail is it must be clear to you, and how we are going to conduct that also must be clear to you. Do you have any questions you would like to ask? Hello, Raghu, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah. Is there any
Ah,
question you would like to ask or related
is
to?
there any
Yeah.
additional requirements of the material
Yeah, yeah.
for?
There are actually limitations. Rather than limitation, I will say there is a
Mm-hmm.
limitation, like thickness limitation. Okay. And the type of material
Mm.
also are very limited.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
that we'll see when we refer the material part. So there
Okay.
is no separate, like in ASME, we have section 2 for material, right? For different properties. Like allowable stress, we need to
Hmm.
see section 2, part D.
Yeah.
Here
Party.
in this code itself, you will get the allowable stress.
Mm-hmm.
Directly you can select the material. So there are limited
Mm-hmm.
materials which are given, and then you can design as per that allowable whatever is given. Okay.
These are being designed manually. Excel sheet you are preparing, or
Yeah,
some
Excel
software
sheet.
is there?
There is a software also,
Excel.
which is a tag software for the same group where
Tank.
PBLite is there.
Mm-hmm.
But still
Mm-hmm.
industry are using Excel sheet only, because that tank is still not at that level.
Okay.
When the
Mm-hmm.
people are having better Excel sheets, so they like to use their Excel sheet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike that ASME, that variation in this is very less, right? Because
Okay.
you can see that it's only for cylindrical, fully bottom supported.
Mm-hmm.
So the scope is very clearly defined. So the variation is
Mm-hmm.
small, and that is the reason the design calculation is also very specific. Okay, there are no
Mm-hmm.
like in ASME, there can be lots of variation. Okay. In this, it's not like if you see that these are the materials which are mentioned. So we have to follow these materials for designing of tags.
And what about factor of safety in this API 650?
Yeah, the factor of safety is also almost similar to what ASME Section 8 Division 1 is having. Okay.
1.5.
No, the 1.5 is not the factor of safety by Section 8. It's
Division 1
3.5.
1.5, na?
3.5.
Okay.
See that allowable stress for Section 8 Division 1 depends upon the yield and tensile both, right?
Yeah.
So it says that 2 by 3rd of yield or
Yeah.
1 by 3.5 of tensile. So
Tensile.
normally your
Yeah.
1 by 3.5 of tensile governs the allowable unless your yield and tensile are very close. So like if I'm talking about carbon steel, your tensile strength governs. So
Yeah.
that will give you
0.8
the
somewhat.
allowable. So the 3.5, which that the factor that becomes your factor of safety because there is no other factor of safety used. That is built into the allowable. So similarly here also that factor of safety is already built in the allowable strength. So there is a table given for allowable strength. You can see here minimum yield strength, minimum tensile, and then there is a
Yeah.
design stress. So you can see here for like let's say 516 grade 70. Okay, that design stress is 173. Okay, so actually they are using factor of safety of 3. So at section 8 we are using 3.5. Here we are using 3. Okay,
Okay.
so now there are two types of allowable stresses because of the different condition. One is for hydrostatic test and this is for operating for production.
Yeah, the storage tank hydro test is in performed.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
inspection test?
Yes, yeah, hydro test is performed.
Okay.
It definitely requires lots of fluid. So what they
Yeah,
do
yeah.
if they are
That's.
multiple tanks, they use the water of other tank into the next tank to minimize they try to do it
Yeah.
in such a sequence that the same water cannot be used. Otherwise, that huge amount of water
Huge amount of water. Yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. So many times if
Yes,
the
yes.
site is closer to sea, they even tend to prefer the sea water to do the hydro. Okay.
So it is advisable because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has some
you can do that,
salinity
but
and
there
all.
are certain limitation. There are certain requirement related to cleaning and all.
pH value.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so those things are there,
Yeah, yeah.
but because that's such a huge amount of water, it becomes like in Gulf countries. It is almost next to impossible to have such a high level of potable water
Yeah, yeah.
used for hydro.
Mm-hmm.
So they do all by seawater.
Acha. Mm-hmm. Right.
The radiography requirement is also mentioned here. If radiography is required, then how many spots need to be taken and how long it should be. So all that is mentioned specifically in here in this code itself.
Mm-hmm.
So these are very specific codes because the use of it is also very specific. Okay, so but it is not. It's relatively easier than Section 8 Division 1 to study. Apart from your
Okay. Yeah.
the seismic, if you
Mm-hmm.
leave that seismic design because seismic design is little bit tricky. It's difficult to understand on your own. But apart from that, you will find it easier to study.
Mm-hmm.
Only few places you need some hand holding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's very easy. So I will give you just one homework to, if you are joining, we can discuss that in the class. There is a formula given for thickness calculation. You can see this formula.
Mm-hmm.
Design thickness
Yeah.
4.9 times D, and H minus H is your height, D is the diameter, minus 0.3 into G. G is the specific gravity of the liquid, and
Mm-hmm.
ST is the design allowable strength. We saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just when we saw that material, we saw that SD value. So if we have material, that SD is already known. So now I want you to find out from where this formula has been derived. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
simple derivation of it. Do you know the
Mm-hmm.
basic formula for thickness which we studied in engineering?
That this no hoop stress and
Yeah,
this
correct. Hoop stress, PD by 2T.
mm,
So this is also
PD.
based on that. Now I've given you a
Yeah.
hint, okay? And now from
Mm-hmm.
that formula, you try to see whether you are able to derive it. This will be very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Then you will understand all the, you know, purpose of this
Mm-hmm.
calculation.
Okay. Okay.
So this will make you easier. Then you don't have to remember this formula. Automatically, you will be
Okay.
able to write it.